Welcome to Planet Gemini's 3-ball juggling tutorial. In this video you will learn some of the fundamentals of juggling and how to juggle 3 balls. Before we start, I would like to give you a quick thank you for visiting my website and most likely have purchased your first set of PJ juggling balls. Congratulations and enjoy learning how to juggle. In juggling, there are 2 things to remember. Keep proper form and keep throwing consistent. If you keep proper form and throw consistently, you will become a very good juggler. So the basic form is you keep your feet about shoulder width apart and your arms bent at a 90-degree angle, and you keep your elbows in at your sides. You will never move your elbows out or backwards when juggling. So go ahead and start with just 1 ball. You're going to want to make 1 toss going straight up into the air, just as you see right here. The ball will go up the inside of your shoulder and come right back down to where you caught it. My arms do not go forward, nor should yours. The ball should try and go the same height every time. When you can do it about 10 times in a row with your good hand, go ahead and switch it over and do it with the other hand. You want to make sure the ball isn't going forward, it's only going straight up and straight back down into your hand. Do your best to make sure you do a consistent toss. Once you can do it 10 times in a row, go ahead and stop, and you'll move on to the next step. This is the next step. What you want to do is imagine that there is a line going straight down the center of your body. What will happen is you will throw the ball up, it will hit the center of that line, then drop down onto the other side. The ball will reach its climax or pinnacle or the highest point of being tossed when it hits the center of the line. Once you can throw it back and forth in a 2-dimensional pattern to where the ball is not going forward or backwards, 10 times in a row starting from each hand, go ahead and stop and we will move on to 2 balls. So when juggling 2 balls, you're essentially going 1, 2. You're going to throw the first ball up. When it hits that imaginary line and starts to come down on the other side, you will throw up the other ball, which would be the number 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. You will continue to do this 1, 2 pattern until you can do it from starting on each side 10 times in a row. 1, 2. 1, 2. You want to make sure that the balls are not going forward or backwards, or you're not reaching forward to catch the ball. 1, 2. Eventually, you can try and pick up the pace a little bit and run it from each side. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, sometimes you can pull off some sort of way to get both balls up into the air and they switch hands, but if it does not look like what I am doing right now, you're probably not doing it right. That's one thing you don't want to do right there. It's one of the most common problems. And see how my arms are coming out there? You don't want your elbows coming out to toss or even catch the ball. Don't do those. Make sure you're going 1, 2. So my elbows stay in right there at the sides. It is very important that you make sure you do everything properly so that you learn how to juggle properly. So once you have learned to do it with 2 balls, 10 times each from each side, you can go ahead and move on to 3 balls. You want to start off with throwing just 1 ball from each hand, and you always start with the hand that has 2 balls. What you will do is you will work your way up to being able to do 3 tosses. 1, 2, 3. If you learned how to do 2 balls properly, 3 balls should start to come to you pretty quickly. You want to gradually increase your amount of tosses of 3 balls by 1 toss at a time until you get up to about 10 or 15 tosses. Once you feel comfortable with doing that and doing it properly every time, go ahead and see how long you can go for. So thank you for watching my 3-ball tutorial. Make sure you're doing everything exactly how I told you. Make sure you're practicing each exercise from both sides of the body, and you should have plenty of those right there. But as long as you do everything that I show you, you'll do just fine. I don't know what that was.